the Zen Buddhism test that reveals anyone's true nature. That friend with the perfect social media presence. Your boss who seems supportive in meetings, but whispers criticism behind closed doors. The partner who claims to be honest, but has moments that make you doubt. I'm sure many of you are wondering how to tell if someone is being genuine. I've been there. We all have. According to ancient Zen wisdom, there's a simple test that reveals anyone's true character in seconds, and it has nothing to do with what they say. This forgotten Buddhist teaching doesn't just help you see through others' masks. It forces you to confront your own. Welcome back to Moon Mind Temple. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey. A journey into the heart of human nature. A quest to understand not just who people are, but why they are. In this video, we're not just going to uncover a simple checklist of traits. Instead, we will dive deep into the transformative wisdom of Zen Buddhism, focusing on the profound teachings of mindfulness and compassion. We'll look at practical ways to apply these ideas to your daily life, leading you to not only see the true colors of others, but to unveil your own most authentic self. But before we start, let's take a moment to breathe. Let me share a Zen story with you. There once was a young monk who was obsessed with figuring out if his fellow monks were truly enlightened. He'd watch them intensely, scrutinizing their every move. One day, he approached his master, visibly frustrated. "Master," he said, "I can't tell if any of these monks are truly awakened. They meditate, they chant, they perform their duties, but how can I know?" The master smiled and simply said, "Look at how they treat the temple cat." Confused, the young monk spent the next few days observing. He saw that some monks ignored the cat, some were indifferent, and some offered gentle scratches and shared their meager meals. He realized that those who showed kindness to the helpless creature exhibited a genuine compassion that transcended mere ritual. This is our first insight. True character is revealed in how we treat those who have no power over us. This aligns deeply with the Buddhist concept of metta, loving kindness. It's easy to be kind to those who can benefit us. The real test is extending that kindness to the marginalized, the vulnerable, and the seemingly insignificant. So, I want to invite you, right now, to pause and reflect. How do you treat the temple cats in your life? The service workers, the strangers, the people you might normally overlook? Your answer to this question will reveal more about your own journey than any self-help book ever could. Now, let me tell you a story from my own life. Years ago, I was working a very stressful job. I found myself getting easily irritated, especially with the support staff. One day, I snapped at a janitor for accidentally bumping into me in the hallway. Immediately, I felt a wave of shame. His reaction wasn't anger or resentment. It was a simple, sincere apology. That moment was a wake-up call. I realized that my stress was no excuse for treating someone with disrespect. It reminded me that my actions are a reflection of my intentions. That's why our second insight is this. Pay attention to how people handle minor inconveniences. Life is full of little bumps in the road. But it's in these seemingly insignificant moments that our true selves shine through. Do we react with anger, frustration, and blame? Or with patience, understanding, and a willingness to find a solution? Remember, from the Buddhist perspective, anger is a poison we drink ourselves, expecting the other person to die. Think about the last time you were stuck in traffic, or your coffee order was wrong, or your internet went down. How did you react? Were you a source of calm or chaos? Be honest with yourself. This is about self-awareness, not self-judgment. In these everyday frustrations, we catch glimpses of our unfiltered selves. When the universe seemingly conspires against our plans, Our immediate response, before the social mask slips back on, reveals the depth of our inner cultivation. The ancient Zen masters called this equanimity in the face of the 10,000 things. They understood that life's minor disruptions aren't just inconveniences, they're opportunities for profound spiritual practice. Consider this. When we're stuck in gridlocked traffic, we often behave as though we're the only ones suffering, the only ones with important places to be. In that moment of frustration, we forget our shared humanity. The person in the car next to us might be rushing to a hospital or driving to their first job interview in months. Let me share another Zen story. A famous calligrapher was once asked to create a sign for a small tea shop. He carefully crafted the perfect characters, only to have the shop owner complain that they were too expensive. The calligrapher, usually patient, exploded in anger. The owner, unfazed, said, "Ah, I see. So that's the real calligrapher, the one who can't control his emotions over a small disagreement. I'll find someone else." What this story teaches us is that our reactions to life's small irritations aren't trivial. They're windows into our souls. The Buddha taught that tranquility comes not from controlling our external circumstances, but from mastering our internal responses. This is why Zen monasteries often intentionally create situations of minor discomfort for practitioners. The cold morning baths, the hard meditation cushions, the strict schedules. These aren't forms of punishment, but opportunities for growth. They're invitations to practice responding rather than reacting. So how can we apply this wisdom in our everyday lives? I've personally found that my morning meditation practice doesn't truly work until it's tested in the crucible of daily annoyances. It's easy to feel peaceful in a quiet room. The real achievement is maintaining that peace when your flight is cancelled or your computer crashes before saving your work. Remember, these small moments aren't interruptions of your spiritual practice. They are your practice. Each traffic jam, each slow Wi-Fi connection, each minor disappointment is an invitation to wake up, to become more conscious, to choose your response mindfully. The next time you face a minor frustration, watch your reaction as if observing a stranger. What does it tell you about your true character? What would you like it to reveal instead? Now, look at how people honor their commitments. In Buddhist tradition, truthfulness isn't merely avoiding lies. It's aligning your actions with your words. When someone consistently breaks promises, arrives late, or fails to follow through, they're revealing something profound, how they value relationships and integrity. These aren't simply scheduling issues, they're character revelations. I once collaborated with a colleague who had an elaborate excuse for every missed deadline. Initially, I sympathized. Eventually, I recognized this pattern revealed not misfortune, but a fundamental disrespect for others' time and a refusal to acknowledge personal responsibility. The Buddha taught that right speech includes reliability, your word becoming an extension of your true self. When we make commitments lightly and break them easily, we fragment our integrity and erode trust, the foundation of meaningful connections. Notice how you feel when someone honors their word despite inconvenience. That reassurance speaks directly to our deepest need for stability in an uncertain world. Similarly, observe your own relationship with promises. Do you treat them as sacred contracts or casual suggestions? Remember, how we handle our commitments doesn't just affect others, it shapes our relationship with ourselves. Each kept promise strengthens our self-trust. Each broken one weakens it. The fourth insight is this: how does someone act when they think no one is watching? This is the ultimate test of integrity. The word integrity comes from the Latin integer, meaning whole or complete, being the same person in all situations, whether observed or not. In Buddhist philosophy, this reflects the principle of right action, doing what's ethical not because of external rewards or punishments, but because it aligns with your true nature. The Buddha taught that our private actions generate karma just as our public ones do, shaping our character regardless of witnesses. There's a powerful Zen story about a monk who found a gold coin on a deserted path. Though starving and alone, he spent days searching for the owner. When he finally returned it, the astonished recipient asked why he hadn't kept it. The monk simply replied, "My actions are my meditation." This teaches us something profound. Our unseen choices aren't irrelevant moments. They're the building blocks of our character. When we take shortcuts, cut corners, or compromise our values in private, we're not just making isolated decisions, we're actively constructing our future selves. Consider, what would be revealed if your private behaviors were suddenly visible to everyone? Would you feel alignment or disconnection between your public and private selves? This isn't about perfection, but about awareness, recognizing that authentic character is cultivated in these invisible moments. The next time you face an ethical choice with no one watching, remember, you are witnessing yourself. And in that moment of choice, you're either strengthening or weakening the foundation of who you truly are. Finally, our fifth key is observe how people handle power and influence. This isn't just about formal authority, it's about the subtle dynamics present in all human relationships. In Buddhist philosophy, leadership is fundamentally an extension of our relationship with ourselves. The Buddha recognized that power amplifies our existing tendencies. It doesn't transform us, it reveals us. When someone gains influence over others, watch carefully. Do they use that position to elevate or diminish? To create safety or fear? To serve or to be served? I was fortunate to witness this principle embodied in a mentor who held significant organizational power. What distinguished him wasn't his title, but his consistent treatment of everyone, from interns to executives, with the same deep respect and attentiveness. He listened authentically to opposing viewpoints and made decisions that balanced immediate needs with long-term collective benefit. His leadership wasn't about dominance, but about creating conditions where others could flourish. This approach aligns perfectly with the Buddhist concept of servant leadership, understanding that authority exists not to glorify the self, but to reduce suffering in others. True power in this view comes not from controlling others, but from mastering our own ego-driven impulses. Consider how you exercise the small powers in your daily life, whether with children, service workers, or colleagues with less experience. These moments aren't incidental. They're the practice ground for your character. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to ask, am I using this imbalance to build up or break down? To connect or separate? Remember, the way we wield influence, no matter how seemingly insignificant, sends ripples far beyond the immediate interaction. It shapes not only how others experience us, but also how they will eventually treat those over whom they have power. As the ancient wisdom reminds us, power doesn't corrupt, it reveals. So let's quickly recap the 5 insights to quickly see someone's true colors from a Buddhist perspective. 1. How do they treat those who have no power over them? 2. How do they handle minor inconveniences? 3. How do they respect their commitments? 4. How do they act when they think no one is watching? 5. How do they handle power and influence? I once observed a seemingly successful entrepreneur. He flaunted his wealth, drove expensive cars, and boasted about his accomplishments. But I noticed a pattern. He was always quick to take credit, slow to give praise, and often dismissive of his employees. He saw them as tools, not as human beings. He might have appeared successful by conventional measures, but his true colors were revealed in his lack of compassion and empathy. Friends, the journey of understanding others begins with understanding ourselves. These 5 insights are not just about judging others, they're about cultivating self-awareness. So, as you go forward, I invite you to become a mindful observer, not a judgmental critic, but a compassionate witness to the human drama unfolding around you. and I would love to hear your experiences. Have you ever encountered someone whose true colors were revealed by these tests? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's learn from each other, grow together, and create a more compassionate and understanding world. What's one small change you can make today to better embody these Buddhist principles in your own life? If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to Moon Mind Temple. Your support helps us create more content to illuminate your path. Remember, dear friends, the moon reflects the light of the sun. Just as the moon illuminates the darkness, may the wisdom of Zen Buddhism illuminate your path to understanding, compassion, and inner peace.